Assalamualaikum dear students. Welcome to the Department of English Government Postgraduate College Attock. This is BSc 4th year class and we are discussing a selection of modern prose, the textbook that is included in your syllabus. We are on chapter 2, the last, which is a short story written by Alphonse Daudet. Moreover, an extraordinary solemnity had taken possession of my classmates. But the greatest surprise of all came when my eye fell upon the benches at the farther end of the room. Solemnity, seriousness, farther, which is at a distance. Moreover, France says that an extraordinary, unusual kind of seriousness had taken possession of my classmates means he wants to say that his classmates they were extraordinarily serious at that day. Usually they were not. Usually they were playful. They would be involved in their naughty kind of activities, but today they were sitting very seriously. And the greatest surprise that he came across was when he saw when his eye fell upon the benches at the back of the class, and he saw something there that was really surprising for him. Usually they were empty, but upon this morning the villagers were seated there, solemn as ourselves. Usually those benches they were empty, that is, nobody would be sitting upon them. But upon this morning, the villagers they were sitting there, and they were also very serious as the students. Now, this was really very surprising. This was unusual. In France, he had never observed anything like this before. That why the villagers are there, that why they are attending the class, and why is it that they are sitting on the back benches. There sat old Hauser with his three-cornered hat. There sat the venerable mayor, the aged carrier, the other personages of importance. Now Franz is describing that who was sitting on those benches. He saw that old Hauser was there, and he was wearing his usual three-cornered hat. And then there was the venerable mayor. Venerable means respectable, and mayor is usually the selected politician of the town. And we also had such kind of mayor is just like Nazim of a district or a tehsil, and mayors are politicians who are elected by the people. Then there was the aged carrier. Carrier mean the person who would carry weight for the people, and other personages mean persons of importance, that is very important people of the town. They were all sitting there. All of our visitors seemed sad, and Hauser had brought with him an old primer, chewed at the edges. It lay wide open upon his knees, his big spectacles reposing upon the page. And another thing that Franz noticed was that all these visitors or all these villagers who were there, they seemed very sad. They appeared very sad. And old Hauser, he had brought with him an old primer. Primer is usually the first book to learn a language. Usually when children they start their school and they join nursery, they are given a book, and that book is to teach a language, and that book is called primer. Chewed at the edges mean it was old and worn out, and it was lying open upon his knees, and his spectacles they were resting upon that page. While I was wondering at all these things, Monsieur Hamel had taken his seat, and in the same grave and gentle tone in which he had greeted me, he said to us. Now, France says that while he was wondering at all these things, that why all these people are here, and why they are so serious, and all his classmates are so serious. In the meanwhile, Monsieur Hamel he took his seat, and in the same grave means serious, and gentle tone in which he has greeted him, he began to say, "My children, this is the last day I shall teach you. The order has come from Berlin that henceforth in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine all instruction shall be given in the German tongue only. Your new master will arrive tomorrow. Today you hear the last lesson you will receive in French, and I beg you will be most attentive." Now, Monsieur Hamel he begins his speech by saying that, "My children, this is the last day I shall teach you." That is, he would be he would no more be a teacher in this school, and then he tells them the reason that why is it that he would no more be their teacher. The order has come from Berlin. Berlin is the capital of Prussia or Germany, and as we have discussed earlier, that these two French towns, after the Franco-Prussian War of 1871, when France lost that war, these two towns, Alsace and Lorraine, they went under German control. Now they were under German government, and the because the government uh, it was sitting in Berlin, in the capital of Prussia. So the order came from Berlin, mean the government has ordered basically that from henceforth mean from now on, in the future, in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine, in the schools of these two towns, all instruction shall be given in the German tongue only. All the instruction mean all the teaching. It would be given all in the schools. Everything would be taught in the German language only. Tongue here means language. Your new master will arrive tomorrow, and their new teacher, he would be arriving tomorrow. That is, who would be German. Today you hear the last lesson you will receive in French, and today you will be hearing the last lesson that would be in your own language, that is French, and I beg you will be most attentive, and I beg mean I request you that you should pay attention, you should be very focused upon this lesson. So this was the reason that all the people who were sitting at the back benches they were there, because it was Monsieur Hamel's last day in this village, and from now on uh, he would not be teaching, these children, but the there would be another master who would be a German, and he would be teaching these children, and they would not be learning French, but they would be learning German. So we will continue with our text in our next lecture.